Hi, let's continue with our interview questions for the newcomers, new joinees, freshers, call them all sorts of names, trainees. Yeah, if you are just joining the video, if you just started the video, there are previous videos. Please check them out and you can follow up. So this is #JM. Once again, it's always nice talking to you, meeting you, sharing, kawaida. Please remember to subscribe, notification bell, like, comment. I want those comments because I want to see what we need to improve on, what we need to research on, because remember, my purpose, my aim is to ensure that you get those jobs. There are jobs, I will tell you. Jobs are there. We lose those opportunities because of answering things in the wrong way or doing things in the wrong way or not believing in ourselves. Remember, number one thing is confidence. Perhaps I needed to begin with that. Confidence. You must have confidence in yourself. Believe that that job is yours, ni yako. You're going to get it and you will get it. You simply now need to set your goal, work for it, and believe it will be yours. So let's continue from where we left. And now we are talking about the other question. You know, we are just discussing a few questions. How many? The panelists will ask you many of sorts of, but of course there are those questions that are in line with interviews. So we are discussing those questions that are in line with the interviews. So the other question that also put us on the spot is what is your short and long-term goal? Now you are a fresher, you are new, you're wondering what do they mean by that? You don't know things to do long things, you don't know short things, and whatever that is. Yes, those questions are there. And as always, short-term goal is not much. That is, of course, you are applying for this position. My short-term goal is to definitely get this job. That is the short-term goal for that. So that will be your main answer. My short-term goal is to get employed in this company, and of course I want to stay. Definitely when you're getting employed, you definitely talked about loyalty. You want to be loyal to this company. Nobody wants to give you an opportunity, and then tomorrow you are jumping, you are here, but your ears are elsewhere, your mind is elsewhere because you're thinking this is not the best. You're still looking for else. So that loyalty, your short-term goal is to get this job, give it your best, do the best for it, commitment and things like that. And loyalty, you want to work for this job, this opportunity. And since you just came from college, so your main game, your short-term goal or agenda here is to get to know the job, to do the job in the best way, effectively and efficiently. That is the short-term goal. Then you will be asked about your long-term goal now, or where do you want to see yourself in 5 years. Now that your short-term goal is getting the job and you are giving it your best, commitment, loyalty, development, and growth, name it. And definitely, number one, of course, essential is learning. You must make the employer know that you are interested in learning, and of course through commitment, so that you can give back to the organization. Yes, these people who are employing you know very well there isn't much you're coming with apart from yourself and the theories that you learned from college. So they are not expecting so much other than that honesty, loyalty, commitment, and there isn't. So that's what you need to stress on. Show them that your first is that job. I get that job, and I'll show you the commitment of a lifetime. Honesty, professionalism. Those are the things. My short-term goal is to become the best professional that you have ever met. That I give the company my best, the commitment of the highest standard. Yes. Then, from that, now where do you want to be seen in 5 years' time, or in 2 years' time, or in whichever year's time? Organizations are different. There are those who don't mind you working after 2 years, even if you leave, they have no problem. There are those who, when they employ you and they believe they are invested so much in you, they expect you to be there for, I don't know when, 10 years or things like those. Well, that used to happen during our time. It doesn't happen nowadays because people want to grow, also to develop, to do things differently, right? Yes, and also the organizations, they want to get cheaper people, right? So it's always, like I said, win-win. The organization wants this, you also want this. But the good news is that both of you get something out of the relationship. So where do you want to be in 5 years? Where? Kali, and you just left college the other day. You can't see yourself. 5 years is a long time. I know when you are young, 5 years you see it's like, well, hey, that's a really long time. I don't know. You can even say you have no idea. Well, this is the best way to answer that kind of a question. And the way is always have a plan. You will see most of the things you're talking about is you must always have a plan. Life is just about planning yourself, by the way. If you plan things work out a bit more conveniently and comfortable than when you don't. So in 5 years, I have a plan. Definitely, I still plan to be, I hope to be we're still working for this organization. Now you're telling your interviewers, I believe I'll still be working in this organization. And of course, now on a higher position, yeah. And that means that I will have to work so hard to develop, to build my career, and of course, using the experience, the opportunity that you have given me, that I learn and develop and progress, that I become a best learner, good learner, and somebody who is loyal and honest to the organization. And why not? I'll be able to learn and be reliable. I'll have a place now, a position of responsibility. That is where I see myself in 5 years. That in 5 years, I'll be seated in a position where now I have a more responsibility. I am in a senior position. And of course, that is through hard work. I do not believe I'll just get there by sitting here or just waiting, but through hard work, through commitment, through honesty, integrity, through discipline, I know I will be able to convince the organization through my work, through my achievement, through what I'm giving to the company, that I will be able to rise to a better position of authority, position of responsibility that is, of course, much better than where I am starting today. So I do not see myself being in the same position as I'm applying today, but will be in a better position, a position with more responsibility. And definitely in 5 years, while I'm here or wherever I might end up being, I'll also be having my personal plans that when I get here, I work hard, I save, I invest, I start by saving for my retirement benefit. By the way, you are supposed to start saving for your retirement the first day in employment. So I want you to know that. The moment you get that job, that salary, you must put aside a percentage for your retirement. So in your 5 years, remember that time you have already started saving for something, for a kind of development plan, for something that you want to invest in. So your hard work here, your commitment here, your sense of love and belonging for the organization is the one that will dictate what happens to you in 5 years, that you would have been able to have saved something worthwhile, that you would have been able to have put aside something that will now uplift you as an individual. That you will not just, even if you are to leave, you will not just leave the same way you came in, but a different person, certainly better than you came in. When you tell them that, they can see somebody who is progressive, somebody who is seeing ahead. That's what we want. We don't want a beggar. Who wants a beggar to be working for them? That you get money, it's coming in and going, coming in and going. Every time advance, every time you're asking for this. And when you leave, you are still a beggar. People are wondering, this guy started working, has worked for the last 5 years. What does he own? What does he have? Nothing. Avoid that. So your interviewers, you will convince them first you're somebody who is focused, somebody who is able to save, somebody who is able to plan, and you will see the whole thing is about planning. Somebody who plans themselves. And you see, when you plan yourself, life becomes a bit comfortable, convenient, and easy. So you're not going to be there crying every time, and then every time you're asking for loan, your employer doesn't want that kind of a person. Because when you are in such a position, even now, work becomes very hard. You're always having problems because you mismanage your salary, you mismanage your money, you don't save a lot, you don't put aside something for your saving, for buying perhaps a property. So these are the things you plan, you start with when you are getting a job. Don't you think that I'm still young, I get my money, we go partying, party after party after. No way, and time is flowing. That 5 years is a very short time, my friend. Make sure you have a plan. So as you plan to develop in this company, because perhaps you will be going for training, remember all those are there. Perhaps while you are at work, you will be able to plan yourself in such a way you are advancing in your training, because for you to achieve that position of responsibility, you definitely will have to have added some certificate, some diploma or a degree or whatever, and that's money. So in 5 years, perhaps you would have achieved or attained a certain grade in your life as far as education is concerned, right? Then now you'll be able to apply for a better position, or to be uplifted in the position where you are. And of course, that also goes with increment. And with increment, now you are able to save, buy a home, buy land, buy something. So in 5 years, you will be certainly a better person than you are today. So that is what you're telling your interviewers. Don't talk too much like I've talked, because I'm doing this because I'm explaining. But you pick those points and you will speak them in very short time. Please don't you go telling lots of stories like I'm explaining. They will chase you out of the interview room, or they will rudely interrupt. And like I said, once you have been interrupted that way, normally the feeling is not good. You will not be happy. When you're not happy, even what comes out of you now will not be that one conducive for your own interview situation. So bear with me, I'm explaining so that you can get deeply, you get to understand why these kind of questions are asked and why you have to answer them that way, and what is the benefit. But by and large, are they going to help you? Because they do, right? So thank you once again for listening, and let's continue with our conversation. Let's continue checking out on each other, of course, through that notification bell and subscribing. And let me know what you would want me to address, because like I said, my aim here is to ensure that you get that job in that company, sio ingine, that company that you have been looking towards working in. That's where you belong. So do things in the right way, and let's share what we can so that we can help one another. Thank you so much for listening once again.